Hello guys and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today another different video, different than the others, and probably the new way for me to record video for YouTube because I like this type of content. And this one gonna need all my English skills, so please Google help me because without you I cannot do this type of video. We are gonna talk not topic of this moment about One Piece TCG, but let's change location because this is not the right location to talk about it. Probably you already saw in the title, but the topic is Luffy Snakeman. If you have been following me in these days, I made this post on Twitter. I was asking for your thoughts on Snakeman Luffy because I already had my own opinion after playing it in the regionals. And the answers really surprised me because I got so many different opinions about it. Some of you agreed with me and the other had a totally different opinion, and this is really great because that means a lot of us have a different opinion and see the game in a different way. So it's good, but let's rewind a bit. Comunque fa un caldo e no, mi sono trovato a registrare il video sul pozzo, ragazzi. Before Snakeman arrived here, all the people was like hyped or a little bit scared of the deck because the information we had in Japan was the deck is unstoppable. It's literally at tier 0. But for me it's not like this. I faced the reality in the regional and I want to explain why I think like that. Why I say the reality is a little bit different. Snakeman is arrived like in Japan. We have the same cards we have in Japan, but the difference is Snakeman is arrived with the starter decks, and starter decks changed everything, and the meta have to adapt to these new cards. We will face this situation again when the global release will be out in 2K26, and I like a lot this type of thing because we have a literally different situation Japan have, and it's really good for the game in my opinion, because if we are always in a situation where the Japan just pass the deck to us, like Japan play 2 months before us the set, we have just to copy and try to build better or build worse, depends. I'm not in a war against Japan, and it's not really cool for the game in my opinion. I like more when we have always the same cards in the same moment, and we have to see who build the better deck. I mean, it's a part of TCG, the best part of TCG. So let's rewind a bit on the reality part. The fact is, Snakeman just won in the West only once, and the Bello Betty won 3 times in a row. Yes, because won Sydney, Dublin and Amsterdam regional. And this is not a surprise for me because we already know when we have a clearly strong deck in the meta, that deck will be the first enemy of the format, and Bello Bet is the hard counter of this deck. And now is the moment to talk about my own experience, so the point and the motivation why I started this video. I decided to play Snakeman in the Amsterdam regional, and I will say why, obviously, because for me, and not only for me, is the most powerful deck in the meta. But there is a difference from best deck in the format and the most powerful deck. The power level of this deck is clearly the most broken thing we ever had in this game. And now I will explain what this deck do for the guys who don't know. When you have 8 or more done, you are gonna take your first 5 cards from the top deck. You will take 1 straw hat cards and you can put back these 4 cards left on top or bottom in the order you want. So you are gonna draw always you from 8 done and more, and you literally know all your next move. And for this deck you play Sanji, who just bring another character. You can play Big Mom, so you can put a trigger in the life, you can put utility cards, you can search Giant. The other reason why I play this deck, because it's the deck who abuse more about the strongest card in the game in this moment, that's Gangnam Giant. And that's why so many people decide to bring this deck, to play this deck and to try out this deck, because it's reasonable, the effect is broken, but for me it's not enough. Like I said, I played Snakeman in Amsterdam, and yes, I picked it because his insane power for the insane late game, and of course because can abuse about Gangnam Giant. Please Bandai, ban it. But here is the truth. The tournament in Amsterdam won by Bello Betty, just like in the regional and just like the Sydney regional. Betty is a really hard counter to Luffy Snakeman. The other great pick of the format, like Green Purple, have a good matchup, like other good decks. The deck is not a bad pick. So in Amsterdam the room was full of Betty, but that was even the worst part. That's not the problem because Bello Betty is in the tournament, because if you're gonna pick Snakeman, you have to already know you are gonna face at least 1 or 2 Bello Betty. You know it. The real problem is the rest and the deck itself. Why I say this? Remember how I say this is the strongest deck in the format? Well, everyone knows that, so it's not only you. knows the deck is broken. All the people in the tournament knows that. So when you show up at regional, guess what? You are the public enemy number one. Everyone first target, whenever they are trying to beat you, you accept that risk. But the real problem is the bello Betty, it's the rest and the deck itself. Remember how I said this deck is the strongest deck in the game? Well, everyone knows that. It's not only you know it's broken, but everyone are prepared against you. So, or it's an hard counter pick, so people pick bello Betty because they don't want to play Luffy Snakeman. Or it's a mirror match, and that's exactly what happened to me in Amsterdam. 90% of my games was or bello Betty or mirror match. And now I want to focus a little bit on the mirror match because it's, for me, probably the worst part of the deck itself. You might think, okay, it's mirror match, it's 50-50, it's fair, right? No, the mirror match is completely aggro and probably a shit. Playing those games felt awful, and for me, I never felt in control in the mirror. It's not about smart plays, it's more like, okay, I will play Sanji 9 cost, plus Big Mom, plus Katakuri, and if I do better than you, I won, or if you miss Sanji, I literally won, and that's for the previous tour too. If you miss the ramp, I will lose, I will win. If I miss the ramp, I will lose. So it's completely high roll. Does depend from you. You need to keeping more dawn open than your opponent in the right turn. You need to know which card to put with Big Mom. You have to know when to play the Sanji. Yes, okay, but that's not a big effort, no? It's super deep, to be honest. Not really cool. So let's recap a little bit. Hard counters all around. The mirror match is probably the worst mirror match I ever seen, and the rest of the deck were not hard counters and are not mirror match, like the 10% of the tournament you think are unprepared against you. That's impossible because you are the first public enemy of the tournament. So all these decks will just touch against you, will prepare the gameplay against you. So it's always an hard match. It's not always, okay, I will win because I'm just Snakeman and I'm just better. So what happens? You end up with a tons of people playing Snakeman, but only few of them take the top cut. In Dublin we saw just one, if I remember well, and in Amsterdam just two, and didn't pass the top 8. That's insane. In semi-final and the final was bello Betty against bello Betty, green purple against green purple, and obviously the final green purple against bello Betty. What I wanna say with this, when you are the strongest deck, obviously you are gonna take all the hate of the room, and it's how it should be. It's correct. So with all this mind, all my opinion, all my thoughts about the deck from the experience in Amsterdam, I will play again Snakeman in this format. Honestly, no, I will not play it anymore probably, because I changed the deck always in this tournament, in Dublin, in Amsterdam, in my live on Twitch, because I want to find the best deck for me in the finals, as Snakeman does fit me really well. I'm not saying it's a shit deck, because like I said, it's the most broken deck in the format, but that's not enough for me, for my playstyle, because what I prefer to have a deck where I can show my skills. With Snakeman you cannot have it, because it's really straightforward. You do your own play, just ramp, Sanji into Big Mom, Sanji into Katakuri, Sanji into something. But that's it, it's not a lot of effort. With the Teach or Green Purple, because are the two decks probably I will play in the finals or in Toulouse. Probably I will play Green Purple this weekend in Toulouse. I have more options, I can show my skills. So this weekend in Toulouse, probably I'm gonna play or Teach or Green Purple. Deck will give out players more space. With your effort, you can win that game because you are stronger, probably. So I don't want to have a deck who just force me to play, but have to choose the play is better in that moment, and I don't have to just have that play and I can do just that. I want a deck who give me more option, more space. I want a deck who just give at the player more decision, and that's what I mean for show skills. That's not a forced play, always the same play. Is to arrive in some situation where probably you didn't test, and the deck give you an option to do a different play. So yeah, Snakeman is the most powerful deck in the format and probably ever print in the game, but for me is not the best tournament pick. So let's clear this. For tournament, I mean you have to do another process for arrive a good pick for you, and in general in the game is another argument. So probably in the game in this moment is the most powerful deck, but not for tournaments, and is tier 0 like in Japan. For me it's just a tier 1, and if you want my opinion on which is the best deck if it is not Snakeman, for me probably is Luffy green purple for the mashup spread, because in the previous format all the hate green purple had is gone, because all the hate now is for Snakeman, so it's okay, it's better for green purple. And have a deck where you just sit and play always without give too many importance to the leader of your opponent, for me is really good, especially for the finals, because finals, you know, give you the access to worlds and it's the most important tournament. So it's okay to change deck like I'm doing. So if you are trying to find the best deck for finals, it's completely fine, don't worry, just try, and it's okay. Try it out for yourself. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about Snakeman, because on that post I had a lot of different opinion comes up, and I'm really curious to what do you think about it. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe, and thank you again Google for the first time video like this, and I want to do again. If you like it, let me know. And that's it boys, see you in the next video, bye bye.